All right, so you've got some wonderful stallions right now standing at the ranch. So tell us a little bit about each one of the stallions. Too Sleepy to Zip, Vitalize, What Matters Most, and He's Only Trouble. Tell us a little bit about each one.
Well, Too Sleepy to Zip is our personal horse, and he's our once-in-a-lifetime horse to touch and feel. And he was an orphan. He won the Congress. He flies up with Jaguar out of there named Too Sleepy 2. Too Sleepy 2 won the first ever Tom Powers fraternity 40 years ago. And she placed at the Congress in the Junior Western Pleasure as a 2-year-old and the Junior Western Riding as a 2-year-old at the Congress 40 years ago. He's a world champion sire in all 3 breeds. He is on the leading sires list of the Performance Halter and the Performance Winners. He's done well as a sire, and he's up and coming, one of the best broodmare sires that is most sought after by other breeders, which is very much a compliment to us.
Then we got Vitalized. We got him found for him. We were talking back and forth, and he kind of wanted him to have a chance, and he gave us the opportunity to have him up here. We've leased him now. We've got an open-ended lease with him, and he's the only full brother to Vital Signs Are Good. He's NN, which she was NH. If anybody watches this video, it's on our website. He does all of the events she does. We bred our best mares to him last year because we knew that, look at her. They bred her to all the famous stallions in the country, and she had great babies by all of them. So we feel that having him to breed to the Blaze daughters, the RL daughters, the Lazy daughters, the Invitation-only daughters, it can't help but be good. And he's proven us right. If our babies grow up like they look right now, we've hit another one. We've got another nice stallion, and we're pretty excited about it.
And he's pretty young, too, isn't he? He's not all that old.
Yes, he is 13.
Yeah,
13 or 14.
Yeah, so a lot of breeding in front of him.
And he only had 30 babies before he came here.
Oh, really? Okay.
So this is his biggest bull crop by far.
Okay.
And then we have, we're standing What Matters Most. He's by the Crimson Cruiser out of a Sky's Blue Boy smooth down there on the bottom side. He is a Congress champion in the hunt seat lunge line, and he came back and was reserve champion in the Masters as a 2-year-old. He's placed at the Congress as a 3-year-old hunt seat stuff, and now he did the hunter stuff. He was progressive world champion at the World Show in the Working Hunter and the NSBA World Show. He has only a few babies out there showing. The one that's shown, she's 4 this year, and she placed in all the fraternity stuff as a 2 and a 3-year-old, and she's beautiful. It's no fault of his own. Some personal matters made it where we couldn't do a lot with him the last couple of years, but this year we have a lot of babies coming out of our world champion producing hunt seat mares, and the babies look phenomenal. So the sky's the limit for him. He's 16'3", short back, just a different variety for the hunt seat people. He can lope like a Western horse, but then again can do the hunter stuff. So we're very excited about him. We have babies coming by out of Just Like June's mom, Sleep a Little Bit Longer's mom, Sleeping's mom. So people really get to see the babies this year on the ground for his biggest crop.
Yeah.
And then our last one is He's Only Trouble, and we're all about the mares. We've always been about the mares. We love the boys. And his mom is a mare named Rhapsody in the Rain, and she's probably our favorite mare that we never got to own. And he came available a couple of years ago, and Kim and I drove down and picked him up. And he's a horseman's horse. When you see the way the structure he has, he's by invitation only out of the Rhapsody in the Rain mare, and he's just perfect made. And we bred all of our good mares to him, and we've had some really, really nice babies. And he's been the best cross of rating really was the Too Sleepy to Zip, because she's had 2 world champions and a reserve world champion, all 3 different horses with 2 Sleepy to Zip. So we kind of thought it was exciting to be able to breed the Sleepy daughters to him.
Mm-hmm.
And his babies are proven that we feel we've got a good one there. And everybody that has them, they're raving about their mind. So that means a lot to us.
Yeah.
So we're pretty excited about all 4 we got.
Yeah, and your timing is good, being a son of invitation only. That's really good timing.
Yeah, I mean, between the 4, we've got a lot of good blood crop covered. We've got Jack Bar, we've got Good Bar, we've got invitation only, and then with what matters most, it's some of the best front feet blood in the market.
Right, exactly. No, that's fantastic. That's a great lineup. So you handle the foaling for most of your customers, but there are some, like us, that choose to foal out some of our horses at home. So one thing I wanted you to explain to people, because if you're foaling your horse out at home, you may not know this. Can you explain the importance of IgG testing for the foals?
It's the gold standard test. You need to do it on every baby born. You can look at the mare's milk and you think, oh yeah, that looks really good. They're nursing really good. They're going to be healthy. If their IgG, we've had some that everything looks fine, their IgG is low. And if you don't do something about it right there in that first 24 hours, you're behind the 8 ball, and you're setting them up to be sick. You're setting up to have lots of vet bills in the future. We do IgGs on all of our babies, and here personally at our farm, we do, even though their IgGs are good, we do a plasma on all of them just because it's a big investment for everybody to have a baby. The plasma's just you just figure it as another part of the investment. You give them that extra boost so that even if they're going to get sick, they're going to be able to fight it off. And the IgG test, it's a cheap test for you to be able to do to know that you're starting out the right foot on your baby.
Yep.
But you want to make sure that, you have the vet come look, make sure their umbilical cord is good, and they listen to them, take their temperature and all that. You just want to make sure that the vet does come look at it, and they can do the blood test there for the IgG right there at the farm, or take it back either way to the clinic. But that's a cheap insurance.
And that's the test that determines the amount of antibodies that got passed to the quality of the colostrum that got passed to the babies, correct?
Right. Yep. Their gut wall, their stomach wall is opened up, and it gets all that antibodies into the bloodstream and passed through the milk and the stomach in the first 24 hours. So after that 24 hours, you have to, that's why you do the plasma and all that, because that's the most important time.
Right. Well, girls, we could talk all day about horses. And, no, I'm serious. We could. I was doing. I'll give one quick story. I was doing some research before I called you this week. Actually, last week I started. So I talked to Shane Dowdy, who actually trained Vitalized, but I knew that he rode a bunch of Zippo Jack bars in the past. So I asked him what he remembered. Well, he rode in 1997. He told me that he rode 3 different Zippo Jack bars at Quarterhorse World Champion at the AQHA World Champion Show, and he said in the junior he was reserve champion on One Hot Zippo. In the 2-year-olds he won on Jacks Are Lucky 2.
Yep.
And then he won the senior on Shine My Zipper.
Shine My Zipper.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty remarkable. So.
Yeah. See, they're, like we say, a lot of our horses, we call them horsemen's horses, and people like Shane and all those guys, they appreciate them, but they're sturdy and hold up to the training. And, like Jacks Are Lucky 2 kind of helped boost his career. That year at the World Show, he was unbeatable. He brought Jacks Are Lucky 2 up here at the Tom Powers, and he was going around like an aged horse, and he just stayed out of his way.
Yeah. And didn't Steve Heckerman ride Jack Bar?
Yes, he showed him at the Congress as a 2-year-old and was reserved.
So you guys have had,
back in the day when they had like 200 entries, they had, I don't know, how many go-rounds was it?
Probably 10 or 12 go-rounds, and Zippo Jack Bar was a big horse back then. He was 16-1, and they showed him the Coliseum, and he looked out of place, but he went nowhere. I mean, he was so big and so beautiful, but when he went, he didn't go anywhere fast.
Yeah.
Jack Bauer was definitely a show horse before his time, and his breeding life will live on forever. I mean, there'll be great granddaughters and sons of his that'll still be doing it years down the road.
I mean, you look at the two of the best horses of our time are Hardly D. Zip and a certain Beano. Hardly D. Zip is by a son of Zippo Jack Bar, and certain Beano is out of a daughter of Zippo Jack Bar.
Right.
And they're probably left their mark on the industry long after we're done.
Yeah. No, that's right. Well, if anyone wants to reach out to you, this has been wonderful. Like I say, I don't want to keep you too long, but if someone wants to reach out to you and talk to you about breeding their mare or buying some semen from one of your stallions, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
We have a BSB Quarterhorses on Facebook, or they could call the ranch here or call our cell phones. All those numbers are on Facebook and our website. We have a website, bsbquarterhorses.com.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I really,
thank you.
I really appreciate this very much. You guys are great, and we're very happy that you're right here in Michigan. So we appreciate it very much.
We appreciate it. We appreciate all the kind words and that, and thank you for thinking of us. And hopefully everybody can get over this virus and life will go on. But we're still making babies and making people smile.